Right, so we are out yet again with the Matrix cameras, and this time you've got a bit of a treat in that we're doing another one of the live match series. So I've brought you to a bit of a random one. I brought you to my first ever look at Westwood Lakes for my sort of practice. This is probably going to be my one and only practice, as it's about 3 million billion miles from my house. But that's what we've done. We've come here today for an open match on Falcon Lake, just so I can get a little look at what it's going to be like for Fish Show, which is in about 3 weeks' time. So anyway, quick run through of what we're going to do. We've drawn 13, which I'm quite happy with because I want it to be sort of where we are in Fish Show. I think Fish Show sort of 1 to 30-ish. So I'm right in the middle of the area that I'm going to be fishing the fine line. So exactly what I want. And I'm just here to have a simple day in that I want to treat it as a practice session, yes. Yes, I'd also like to win the match, but I want to be sensible. I want to try and work a few things out. I don't want to do things that may be right today, because we've got a bit more room today. We've got every other peg. So I don't want to come and fish shallow for a great big weight. It's not going to be the sort of thing I'm going to be able to do in a couple of weeks' time. So today, what I want to do is try and work out mudline fishing a little bit off, see what mood they're in on that, and my maggot short as well. So I'm going to have 3 pretty much methods, maybe a bit of edge fishing. But I'm going to focus on 3 methods and just try and learn a venue. I mean, on first inspections, it is very, very, very shallow, which I like that almost because it simplifies things. It makes it very easy to choose what you need to do. But that in turn may make the fish very spooky, but that'll be all about what we do later on. But yeah, I just want a nice basic, feel my way in and just get a feel for the place. That's what today's all about, and I'm going to run you lot with it with me, just so you can sort of see what I'm going to do. So quickly run through things. I'm going to have a real easy plan. I'm going to fish the mud, and that's going to be with micros, maybe some ground bait later on. I'm going to fish down a little bit. We're going to fish hard pellets in a little bit more water. I'm going to fish, what's that in? Can't see, 23 inches, a little bit further off, probably about 2 meters off. I'm going to tap some hard pellets, and as I said, I'm going to fish maggot short and just see what problems we have, because there's a lot of fish in this place. I say getting fish in your swim is the easy bit sort of when you're here. It's all about getting them bites and being as efficient and as nice and as smooth as possible. That's what today's going to be about. So quickly, I'm going to whiz my nets in, and then in 5 minutes, it's time to go. Right, so we are good to go. Whistle's just gone. I'm going to start as if it's negative. Say I don't want to. I probably should be starting on the mud. There's fish on the mud. It probably should be where I'm going, but I don't want to. I just want to feel my way in and see just how chaotic this potentially is. So I'm going to start down a shelf, just as I would if I was expecting a tricky sort of 60, 70 pound day. See the swirling already on the mud. There's no lack of fish. I've definitely put the wrong attire on today. I've gone for the bit of a bracy approach, and it definitely wasn't that today. Right, where'd I plumb up? So we're going there. Let's rattle them in and see what happens. I'm going to start with just some hard ones in slightly deeper water. I need to dot that float down already. Starting slightly deeper and just see what mood they're in. So it's not going to be hard, I don't think, to get indications. Look at them on that far bank already. Yeah, indications ain't going to be the hard bit. It's going to be getting them on the hook that is the tricky bit. That's better. That's what we want. What I want with this. Loads of indications, right. What I want with this is my pellet registering on my bristle. I'm literally going to cut my pellets back already. I've started with like 10. And I don't like that already. That was far too excitable. So I'm going to cut it down. I should have had like 2 or 3. Because there's fish everywhere. Look, I'm on that far bank. I ain't even fed anything over there, and they're crawling. It's just indications all the time. I wasn't expecting this many. See how the mud's kicking up there as well. So I've missed like 2 or 3 indications. None of them have been bite. But the fish are sort of spooked, and all the mud kicks up. And what that means, it makes it really, really, really hard for them to see your bait. And that could be a problem, because it's like a muddy cloud where you're feeding. See, same again. Puffs of mud everywhere because it's so shallow. mental. So, first impressions, there are many fish in here. And so getting them in your peg isn't the tricky bit, it's getting clean bites due to type of fish, the way the peg is, everything. So the silt's making them quite tricky to catch because it's definitely making it really hard for them to see your bait, but it's going all right. I mean, I've put up with the initial chaos that just happens. Yeah, you just have to let that happen. And now they're slowly settling down a little bit. I think we've got 5 fish in the first 20 minutes and things are starting to happen. It's all right, it's just nice and steady. We're just like picking off an odd one. It's just all it needs to be. You know what I mean? It's not a go fast, stupid day. It's just a plod, nice day. It's in the mouth, that one as well. But it's going all right, I'm happy. You just got to put up with the chaos, I think, is the first impressions. Definitely leave your catty at home. That ain't coming out the bag, that'll send them bananas. And yeah, just catch a fish. It's not a place where you want a million fish in your peg, it's going to send them bananas if we do that. We just want them steady and nice. Just like 4 or 5 pellets each go. Just enough to make a little bit of noise, but not too much. Because if I rattle 10 in, they whiz up to it and I get a liner and they spook and it causes aggro straight away. So just tap in 4 or 5 in straight away and I'm getting a nice clean bite instead of, I'm getting more clean bites, I'm still getting a bit of aggro. But I'm getting more fish in the mouth. So many fish here. There's an odd carp as well. I've hooked like 3 or 4 carp up to now. 2 of them, or 3 of them fell off, but this is just like a carp as well. I'm catching, but it's just a steady plod. Just give me pellets a little dunk before I put them in, just to make sure they sink. So I think they're pretty good sinky ones anyway, these, but I just want to make sure they sink and I don't want any falling out my pot on the way out. I've got to put my rig in the right way as well. I've got to keep it tight straight away so my rig's going upwind. Sneak them pellets in, not too much of a splash. So my rig's nice and tight straight away because my float's going down. So my curve is happening. And it's nice, it's just sit there patient, see their pellets are going in, lovely, with no dodgy indications. They're getting to the bottom then. And then I can just sit nice, there's not any mud kicking up or anything like that. So them first 4 or 5 casts I was doing that, yes, with a few more pellets. But it was, they were nuts, they were crawling, but uncatchable because they're nuts. So doing it in a much nicer, civil manner, seems that we can catch a few. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll carry on with this for a little bit while I'm putting an odd fish in the net. We're going to carry on, plod along, see if I can get to like 10 or 15 fish after an hour. That'd be really nice. Right, time for a swap because they're burning my brain out. I've had 8 fish dead quick. But I want to try in the mud because it's chaos on there. But I know what I'd want to do. I'd want to just bring them somewhere else and calm them down, but I don't want to do that today. So what I'm going to do instead is try and catch a few on mud for a little bit. Because they're over there and I want to see how horrible they are to catch on that. That is the next plan. The mud is ridiculous. What is it? It is, flipping it, 8.5 inches deep. I mean, to the top of my float. Very, 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 very shallow. But it is what it is. They're in it. So we're going to try and catch him. Wade's just gone over there and caught a couple. So I'm going to have a go. Slopped up my micros. I'm just going to feed the littlest lump of them ever to start with. Oh, that might actually be a big lump in a bit. Let's see what they're doing. But with this one, I'm going to go in very partridgey with a right place. With a long lash. Expander on right into far banks, see what they're doing. It's so shallow over there. Look at it waving at me. Come on, just a little bit further and eat it. I think that fish is too big to actually get to where I've fed. That's ridiculous. Come on, eat it. Here we go. So what we're going to do is just dot that float down a bit. It's a bit too high. So again, you see I've got my micros really, really, really mushy and minging just to get them to stay as a lump. So the last thing I want to do is feed them loose, because they kick all over the place. You've got to have it that little pile stays on the bottom as a pile. Then when one fish comes in, it clears it. I don't want any overspill. That is the biggest thing. Any overspill sends them bananas. So I just want them. These are coming in peg, yeah. Better. Right, so we're an hour in, doing my head in already. So I need to change. I mean, I'm going to bin it and I want to do things my way. And that means bin that micros and expanders lark, because there's loads of fish on it, but I can't catch them. I mean, I've caught a few and they're just, I'm saying I can't catch them, they're just scatty and hard. And I don't want that, I want to get things out my head today as well. So we're going to swap that to hard pellets over there as well. And see if that's any better, because with the little pile what we're going to do, I'm going to leave that for a minute. With a little pile of micros expanders, they know how to deal with it. Like, they really, really know how to deal with it. And they can be a pain. So by swapping it to some particles instead, I'm actually going to get my catty out as well. It might just make them feed a little bit happier and make them a little bit easier to catch. So I'm going to ship this out. Gonna have 10 more minutes on this now. Go back down the shelf, let them regroup, and then I'm going to swap that far bank line, even though it's really shallow. I'm going to swap it to our pellets and see if that's any better, just to get it either out of my head. I say that's what today's about. It's not, yes, winning the match would be great, confidence and all that, but this is going to be a tricky venue in that, like I said, it's not hard to get fishing peg, but it's very hard to get nice, neat, clean bites. And if you end up skipping about all the time because you're not happy, you ain't going to catch nothing. It's that sort of place that you've just got to focus and just be steady, just sneak ahead of everyone with, 10 fish an hour instead of 8, things like that. Definitely that sort of venue, I think. So that's much nicer now. I've come down there and it's nice and calm and not fishing it for 20 minutes, whatever. They've proper calmed down a little bit on that line. There you go, it's a proper bite as well. How mad's that? That's what we want, calmness. Bite in the gob, good to go. So that is going to be my day, I think, for a while anyway. I'm going to alternate between this and the mud, but the mud is going to get some hard pellets. I'm going to start feeding with a catty. And just see if they'll accept that, because I know if they do, I'll get that all to myself. That is, what have I got now? 12 fish? 12 fish for probably 12, 15 pounds. Steady, not fast, just plodding. Right, I need to go over there and try and catch them, because they're eating that. So it's steady down. I'm happy with it down. And that slightly deeper one, and really I should be spending time on that, but I do want to try and sort something at this back, because there's many, many, many fishies at the back. So I've just fed with a catapult, wild and all that. I just want to see if I can get them, eating particles, they'll be so much easier to catch, because they're not upsetting that pile all the time. It will just make things a bit easier for feeding and whatever else, but it depends whether they want to be in that depth or not. See, there's carp absolutely everywhere. That's the only problem with starting to loose feed a bit of bait there, or feeding bits, is they're not homed in like they are if I do blob it with a pile of micros. Absolutely mental. Mentalness if you follow one. Well, there's just that many fish, it doesn't bother them. You go back straight back in and get a bite. It's mad. Look at that, what is going on there? That was the one that won it, like flick it right to the very, 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 very back. That's what I'm worried about, innit? It being too shallow, but it's not, there's no such thing. And the bigger ones as well. Yeah. They're the ones in it, if we can sort that out. That one just barged it out of the way again and just get out of my way. Yeah, you need that pile, don't you, for them to home in on anything. If it's not, it was alright when it was clean, but then it goes scatty dead quick. Just leave that for the minute. Ah, right, yeah. Right, so we are a couple of hours in and it's different. I wasn't expecting how it was. There are so many fish to be caught. It's unbelievable, but it's tricky getting a bite. It's hard to get clean, nice bites because it's chaos in your peg. There's that many fish. And they're obviously very clever, been caught lots. They're just tricky fish to catch. They're not easy, but I'm liking it because it is quite technical. I've been skipping about a bit, probably a bit more than I should, but I want to do that because it's about learning as well. So I keep coming back to this, back to the mud, although it's potentially not the right thing to be doing. I do keep ending up here just because I would like to work out what's going on. That one will be on. Yeah, I'd like to work out what's happening on that mud because there's definitely some bigger fish to be caught. There's a few carp. It's nice catching an odd one of them because that helps add things up a bit faster. But there's also lots and lots of these little pound F1s. Let's say I've done a few things so far. What was that? That sort of hooked itself as I was putting my rig in that. What am I on about? Yeah, we fished down the shelf on pellets. That was steady, quite like that. I fished the mud, can't sort that out, that's doing my head in, that's what I'm going to spend a bit of time doing now. And I fished short on maggots, which is nice, you know what I mean, dead standard short on maggots, up and down, nothing fancy on that one. But it's definitely shown itself to be a busy venue. It's not somewhere you can just sit on a line and catch, you've got to rotate and keep them happy and just catch fish. I know it sounds silly me saying that, but it's about not bagging, it's about just plodding. Just catch a fish instead of try and get 20 in your peg and catch them all, just catch one. That is huge at the minute. That's what I'm learning, is not to get too excited by it. So, another update, and with what, a couple of hours left. And they've done me head in. I've had a right poor spell the last hour, just playing about, just not being sensible and not just catching a few fish. I've been skipping about, trying to make that mud work, which I'm going to do again now. I'm just trying one more thing on that mud. Came shallow, had a couple, but real poor hour I've had, just not putting any fish in the net, which can't happen. Not when there are fish to catch all the time, without a doubt. 100% there's fish to be caught, because they're on every single line as soon as you feed. Look what you've not got to get drawn into. Like, I'm very much struggling with this mud. Really, really, really. And it is me. Definitely, I've probably let it right to begin with, just being sensible with tiny amounts of micros. And I've overcooked it, getting excited because there's so many fish here. So, but at least it's got silly things out my head. I know the right way to do that, but I can't go back to it now. I've messed it right up. Everything else fairly happy with. I mean, I've not fished shallow properly. I've only set one rig up shallow just through time, and that's definitely something I need to do, even with every peg on. We need some shallow rigs set up. I'll tell you what, they're just horrible. They're so clever. And they spook, and they don't even spook. They're just in your peg all the time, these fish. I don't know what it is, whether I've chosen the wrong spot across. What I didn't do is I didn't cut it out. I didn't cut out a little patch in these weed things across. I just went for, there was a bit of a bare bank there, and I was a bit lazy and just went for it. And whether that bit that I've gone for is undercut and they're getting past it, I don't know. I don't really know, in fact. I think it's just ridiculously solid and I'm not catching any. But this is my last go on the mud, and then I'm binning it completely, and I'm just going to concentrate on fishing down shelf and with maggots. That's definitely what I want to be doing, because I can't get this right at all. But it's a shame. Wayne's catching quite nice next to me. I'm not catching fast, but he's catching a few fish on mud, whereas I'm really, really, really not. I'm not even getting a bite. Winched that one in then, didn't I? Proper wings, and that's the thing. You get a bite and it's a proper fish. I don't know if this one's foul up. I don't think it is. Now the bigger fish, but I could potentially catch 2 or 3 fish in the same time doing other things, which probably what I need to be doing. Here's another carp. There's a carp. So they are twice as big as everything else. No. So I'll kind of carry on. Keep doing that. What I've just done there, I've just swapped it to just feeding maggots. Just to see if they'll eat lots of maggots, but don't know if it's right or not. So that's the point I'm at. They're driving me mad. There's 8 million fish in this lake and I can't catch them. Right, so it has. I've had a little shout at myself. I've stopped messing about with them horrible fish on that mud, which are very, very tricky to catch. And we've gone with, oh, that didn't like that, did it? And we've gone with catching one a chuck, short of maggots instead, which is actually right good. So that's obviously the place to be today. There's a lot of steady fishing. I can literally fish one line up and down and keep catching, which is mega. But it's all formulating a plan, so I quite like it. But yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. I've just gone in my box and got a slightly longer shallow rig out with a little bit more sensitive bristle on it. The first one's a dibber, this one's a bristle float. But all the same, fishing really, really shallow, probably fishing about 7 or 8 inches deep. Really, really shallow, because these are definitely clever. I'm just having to hold it tight. I've got them back shots right above my float, just to try and keep everything as tight as possible. But I can't clatter them shallow, I just catch 1 or 2. On deck is actually a lot better. I feel like I might be missing this trick, not trying a bit shallower. I'm going to go in deeper next time. Just to have a look. Oh, let's see if a foul hook or a large one. I've had a couple of carp on this. Foul hook. Probably both that. It surprised me how many carp are on bottom short. So many there, isn't there? Just clever, mate, and they feed dead eye. Yes, if you fish like a hook length deep, you catch 1 of them. Yeah. Definitely clever, hasn't he? Just sat there like stupidly shallow. About an hour. I'm going to have a little change in a minute. I'm going to do something in this edge, just have a little, so we've had a go. You know what I mean? I've been chucking, there's fish on it, like. Right, well, we're on last hour, and I've had a little change. I've been throwing some pallets down this edge, some hard ones again, just to see, and it was all right. I mean, I can drop on it and I can catch an odd fish, and I like that. I love being able to feed in that way with loose feed, because I can look after it when I'm not fishing it. That was a carp in my peg as well, man. We foul hooked him, no, he didn't like that. Yeah, it's nice. I'd much rather do that than blob in little lumps of micros and that. Just because I can't look after that. I can't prep the peg before I go on it with micros and expanders. Whereas this, I can do. I mean, I can just every now and again just chuck 4 or 5 down there, dead nice, drop on it, catch a couple. And I think that's what it is. It's not a drop in the edge, catch 1 a chuck. I mean, it could be, maybe if I did fish micros and expanders, it would be, because I'm building a peg, but for the type of match I'm expecting Fisho final to be, and maybe how it is today a little bit, I think rotating is massive. I mean, it has been all day, and my rotation's been appalling today in how I should have done things, but it's been a good learning curve though. It's made me think a lot, which I really, really like. Yeah, it's going to be a nice, happy drive home. Feeling that I've gained an understanding of the lake rather than just fishing a line, catching a load and going, oh yeah, that was dead easy. It's not, it's been right tricky, but that's a really good thing as far as I'm concerned. Definitely has got a lot better late on. Caught nice and steady last couple of hours. Not very big fish, just little, probably averaging £1.25 a piece. But it's been nice. You know, I say even this now, I've just dropped on this, I've had 3. Yeah, I must have 3 on this now. It's 3 nice quick ones just while I'm resting the chaos that the maggots is. I can just drop on there, catch a few fish, happy days. It's so easy as well, just because of how it plums up, it means that I can put my pellet down the shelf a bit and I'm not having to worry about holding it on a pile. Plus I've got the attraction of being able to throw some, which is mega. I mean, you can find that sometimes when you're putting piles in. You can be a bit funny with it in that once your pile's in, you've got to sit and wait for the fish to find it, whereas if I can loose feed some particles, be it whatever, pellets, maggots, whatever, then you can make something happen. Like now, one came in my peg, but don't know if it's still there, so I can just give it a little blip blip and see if I can get another one's come in nice and quick. Might be better off doing that with a cup when I start fishing it. Oh, the tail end was one of my peg then. Definitely one of my peg then. I don't know if I foul up him or not. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Might be a good carp, right? Very nice. Oh, no. So just feed to the left of it slightly. Oh, the right of it slightly, a bit further down the slope. I'll look after everything else as well. Look after that maggot line. I think it's a carp, but it's in the bottom, so I can get it to come past me. I might get it to have a look at it. Steady on that, innit? Loving it. More like proper £1.50, isn't it? The other side was a bit deeper. Might have been better though, maybe. Maybe we should have fished the other side to me right. Against this like sheeting that they put in. Maybe that would have been better. I don't know. Oh, better bite. That's a better bite. Little carp. Nope. I thought one. Just try it deeper and see. I ain't done that all day, have I? like gone deeper. I've just been obsessed with being damp. This goes under now and gets towed in every go. I'm going to go mad. Just hanging a bit lower and I haven't even tried. Should have stayed on deck. What time is it? 12. Where do I go? Do I go down there or there on deck? Down there, isn't it? Oh, no, we don't. We stay on this. And isn't it? They changed their mind for us. Well, it might be foul up this though. Maybe not. Ghosty. Little ghosty. Lovely. It's unreal, isn't it? Right, so we are all done, and I've had £118, which I made up with that. Absolutely made up with how it's been fishing. I mean, 80s, or there haven't been many £100, so I'm well happy with that. I don't think I'm winning. I think there's 130 around the corner, and obviously more to weigh, so I'm not sure how we'll do, but I'm really happy with how things have gone. Definitely hasn't been a good match today, but it's been a good learning match. I mean, I've learned that the mud's an absolute nightmare, and I'm really, really struggling to catch on that. Whether it's the depth, I don't know. But I think it'd take me a few more goes to sort that mud out, which is time I haven't got. So for me, I've sort of, it's helped me formulate a nice, easy plan. And I can turn up on the day now. Maybe I'll squeeze one more in, but I don't think so. I can fish 2 lines across in about that without pellets, keep away from that far bank where the utter chaos occurs. Hopefully catch a few maggot short. And then the edges as well were brilliant, because I think we're going to have, on the Fishomania final, we're going to have 2 miss one, I think. So you're going to have a little bit more room than expected. So it will be, hopefully, a lovely match. So I say for me, it's been a nice learning experience. Hopefully I've put that across nicely to you lot in the sort of way of targeting a new venue and feeling your way in for maybe an upcoming match. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. Give us a thumbs up. If you like it lots and lots, then feel free to subscribe if you don't already do so. And other than that, we'll see you all very, very soon.